In this video, we will learn how to train a convolutional neural network to classify CIFAR images. We will be using Keras sequential API to develop CNN model. Let's import TensorFlow STF. From tensorflow.keras, import datasets, layers, and model. Let's say also import matplotlib to plot, import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. We are going to work on the CIFAR10 dataset, and I'm going to show you the description of the dataset. Let's look at the CIFAR10 dataset. The CIFAR10 dataset consists of 60,000 32 by 32 color images in 10 classes with 6,000 images per class. So in every class there will be 6,000 images. There are total 50,000 training images and 10,000 test images. For building the CNN model, we will be using 50,000 images, and for testing, there will be 10,000 images. The dataset is divided into 5 training batches and 1 test batch, each with 10,000 images. The test batch contains exactly 1,000 randomly selected images from each class. The training batches contain the remaining images in random order, but some training batches may contain more images from one class than another. So these are the 10 classes: airplane, automobile, bird, cat, deer, dog, frog, horse, ship, and truck. We have to classify these images, and to classify these images, we are going to build a CNN model. Let's make tuples of train images and train labels. We will have train images, train labels. We will make one more tuple of test images and test labels, test images, test labels. From datasets, we will load the dataset CIFAR10, and we will use the method load underscore data. If you are loading the data set for the first time, this will take some time because I have already loaded this earlier. That's why it got run in a very few seconds. But if you are running this for the first time, it will take 5 to 7 minutes to download the complete data. Let's normalize the pixel values to be between 0 and 1 because CNN takes the values between 0 and 1 only, and in our train and test images the numbers are beyond the 0 and 1, so we are going to normalize them. I will call train images and test images, and to normalize these variables I will divide each variable train images by 255.0 because the maximum value in the train images is 255. So we are dividing it by 255 so that the minimum value will be 0 and the maximum value will be 1. Similarly, for test images also, we will divide this test images by 255.0 so that the minimum number will be 0 and the maximum number will be 1. We will make one variable class names, and in that I will save all the 10 labels. The labels are airplane, automobile, bird, cat, deer, dog, frog, horse, ship, and truck. These are the 10 labels that are present in our training and test dataset. To verify the data, we will plot the data. We will look at the first 25 images from the training set and display the class names below each image. I'll make a plot using matplotlib. Plt.figure, figure size is equal to 10 by 10. So here I am defining the figure size, the plot size. Then I'm going to run a for loop for I in range 25 because I'm going to plot 25 samples. Then I will define subplots, plt dot subplot, and my subplot will contain 5 rows and 5 columns. That means I will have 5 plots in rows as well as 5 plots in columns, 5 by 5, and I will increment I with 1. Then I will define the xtext, plt dot xtext, that is going to be empty list, plt dot ytext, it will be empty list as well, plt dot grid, grid is going to be false, plt dot imshow, and I'm going to plot from train images. So I am selecting train images, and we are taking I because the CIFAR labels happens to be arrays, which is why you need the extra index. Then I will pass one parameter cmap, and this will be plt.cm.binary. Then we will have x label. So on x label we will have class names, which we have stored in this variable class names here, class names of train labels of I of 0. In the output you can see that we have plotted 25 labels from our train images, and as I have said that we will be having 5 images in rows and 5 images in columns, 1 2 3 4 and 5. So these are the 5 images in columns, and in rows also we will have 5 images, 1 2 3 4, and this deer is 5. So these are the 25 samples which we have drawn, and these are the labels such as this is frog, truck, this is also truck, then deer, automobile, horse, bird, horse, truck, bird, frog, then we have cat, bird. These are the labels which we have drawn from our train images. Let's create the convolutional neural network base. We will define the sequential model. I will make an object model, and from models I will call the class sequential. Let's add convolutional and max pooling layers. So I will say model dot add. We will use the method add to add layers, and we will add the first layer. So it will be layers dot convolutional 2D 32, and it will be 3 by 3. We will use the activation ReLU. and the input shape will be 32 by 32 by 3. Because this is a colored image, so this is for RBG, red, blue and green. Then we will add one more layer, model dot add layers dot max pooling layer, and this will be max pooling 2D. This will be 2 by 2. We will add one more layer, model dot add layers dot convolutional 2D, and this time it will be 64 by 3 by 3, and the activation will be ReLU. We will be using ReLU activation in this CNL model. We will add one more layer, model dot add layers dot max pooling 2D 2 by 2, and we have to pass this like this 2 by 2. Here also I'll have to pass this like this 2 by 2. Then we will add one more layer, model dot add layers dot convolutional 2D 64 3 by 3. Activation will be ReLU. Now let's run. So we have defined the sequential model and we have also added layers. Let's look at the summary of the model. So we will use the method summary, model dot summary. So this is the summary of our model. So we have defined convolutional 2D layer, then max pooling 2D layer, then again convolutional 2D layer, again max pooling 2D layer. And these are the parameters which are given here. At the end we are having 36,928 parameters, and the total parameters are 56,320. Trainable parameters are also same as the total parameters, that is 56,320. We will use the flatten layer to make it a dense vector. We will write model dot add layers dot flatten, and this layer will flatten into a dense vector. Then we will add one more layer, model dot add layers dot dense 64. Activation will be ReLU. And then we will have the final layer, model dot add layers dot dense. And since there are 10 classes in our train and test images, this time we will pass 10 here as the output layer. Now let's look at the model summary again. Model dot summary. So this is the summary of our model. Now we are having 1,22,517 trainable parameters. Let's compile our model. We will say model dot compile. We are using the method compile, and our first parameter will be optimizer. We are using Adam optimizer. Next parameter will be loss. Since our target variable contains 10 classes, we are going to use sparse categorical cross entropy from tf dot keras dot losses dot sparse categorical cross entropy, and we will pass one parameter from logits is equal to true. In metrics, we will be using accuracy. Let's run our compilation, run our model. So I'm going to fit the model, and I will use the method fit model dot fit, and I have to pass train images, train labels. I also have to define the number of epochs. It will be 2 because this will take a lot of time if I give epochs to be 5 or 10. So that's why I'm taking 2 here. But you should take at least 10 here. But for the purpose of saving time, I am just taking 2 here. Then we also have to define the validation data. And this will be in tuple. And this will contain test images and test labels. Let's run. We are fitting the model, and the number of epochs is 2, so our model will be run twice, 2 times, and it will be stored in the variable. The results will be stored in the variable history. For the second epoch, the loss is 0.92 and the accuracy is 0.67, while the validation loss is 0.96 and the validation accuracy is 0.65. So we have run this model for 2 times only. When you are working on this model, you have to make sure that you are using at least 10 epochs here. Now we are going to evaluate the model, and I'm going to make plot for the accuracy. So I will use the matplotlib plt.plot, and we have stored our result in history, so we will call the variable history. From history, we will plot accuracy, and the label will be accuracy because we are going to plot accuracy here. Then from plt, we will plot history dot history validation accuracy, and the label will be validation accuracy. On X label, we will have the number of epochs. Plt dot X label, we will have number of epoch. On Y label, we will have accuracy. Plt dot Y label. So on Y label, we will be having accuracy. Then we will have Y lim. These are the values between 0.5 and 1. Then we will also make legend, and location will be lower right. So the legend will be on the lower right. So in this plot, I am saying that I have saved the result of CNN model in the variable history, which you can see here. And from this variable history, we are plotting the accuracy. Then we are giving it a label of accuracy. We are also plotting validation accuracy, that is this one. And we are giving a label of validation accuracy. On X label, we will have epoch, the number of times we have run our model. On Y label, we will have the accuracy. This is the Y lim, and the values will be between 0.5 and 1. And we are also plotting the legend, and the location of legend is on the lower right side. Let's run our code. There's a spelling mistakes X label, so I'll just change the spelling X label, and also this Y label. Now in the output, you can see that we got a plot, and here we can see that this one, the blue line is the accuracy, while the orange line is the validation accuracy, and you can see that both the accuracy and the validation accuracy are going together, that is they are almost in the straight line. And on y-axis we have accuracy. We are getting accuracy between 0 0.6 to 0 0.7, that is almost between 60% and 70%. And if we increase the number of epoch, up to 10, our accuracy will increase. So here we have defined the number of epochs to be 2 only because of time constraint. But if you put here 10 and if you run this model again, you will get a better accuracy. Your accuracy may go up to 90%. Now I'm going to make variable test loss and test accuracy from model.evaluate. I'm calculating the test accuracy and test loss. So we will be having test images and test labels. Verbose is equal to 2. Let's print test loss. It has to be loss. So I'll run this again. Test loss and print test accuracy. So we have test accuracy and test loss. So our loss is 96% while the accuracy is 65% on the test data set. And in this, we have seen the accuracy on the training and the validation accuracy. And both the accuracy on this training, validation and test are almost close to each other. So our CNN is performing good. And if you increase the number of epochs up to 10, your accuracy will go up to 90% or 95%. This tutorial was about CNN in TensorFlow. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.